Good morning, boys and girls. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. Today, we're going to continue with our unit on shapes. We're going to be working on recognizing and drawing shapes. So, I'm going to present this screen for you. So we are going to use shapes and we're going to recognize them and we're going to draw them just kind of like we did yesterday. And I want you to remember the word attributes. This is our focus. We're going to be focusing on what they look like. So describing the number of vertices, the number of sides, the number of angles that each shape has. And we're going to continue to identify different shapes. So we're going to be learning about pentagons and hexagons, and a fancy word that we used yesterday was quadrilaterals. So that's our focus for today. So let's get started. So this is our start problem. I love our start problem because it kind of warms up our brain for our lesson. So let's go ahead and get started. It says make a rectangle and a square. Use your geoboard. Miss Yanis, what is a geoboard? Good question. A geoboard is used to make it's a board with different dots. This one has dots, and you can use rubber bands to make shapes. So in class, we would be using them, but right now we're not in class, so we're going to use a virtual geoboard. This is really cool. It's going to be in your Google Slides for today. So let's go so I can show you how to use that. So here we are. This is what we call a geoboard. So if you see all of these, I think they're called pegs. So they would hold a rubber band in place, and you can use them to make different shapes. So our try it problem said, let's go back. It says to make a rectangle and a square. So we're going to go to our geoboard, and we're going to choose a rubber band. So down here, a rectangle and a square. So I'm going to choose yellow. And so you're going to drag your yellow. I'm going to start here. Isn't that cool? So I want a bigger, I'm going to drag it down. And if you grab the other side of the rubber band, I'm going to go maybe here and here. Can you guess what shape I'm making? Down here. What shape is that, my friend? That is a square. So a square has the same length all around. So 3 by 3 by 3 by 3. That is my square. Okay, now I would like to use I'm going to draw a rectangle now because the direction said rectangle. There's my rectangle. Are all the sides the same? No, but the opposite sides are. So this side is opposite on the other side, same length. Opposite sides are the same length. So if you would like, oh, look how cool that is. You can do all kinds of different shapes. But for right now, I'd like you to pause your video and I'd like you to use your geoboard to create a square and a rectangle. And when you are all done, push play. Okay, my friends, here we go. We are going to get started. I'm going to make it nice and big because I want you to be able to see. Here you go. Okay, so make sense of the problem. So here's our problem, and we're going to be thinking, what is a problem about? What are we trying to find out? What information is important? So I changed this a little bit because it said classroom, but we're at home, so we're going to be using what things we find at home. It says, hunt around your home for 3 objects that have different shapes. Look for sides, vertices, and angles. Draw each shape and label it with its shape name. So for example, I found my remote, and my remote is like a rectangle. I found a coaster. A coaster is something you put your drinks on, and it is a square. And you know what? I happen to have half a sandwich in my refrigerator from lunch yesterday, so that's a triangle. So I found 3 different shapes. So I would draw them down here. I would draw them down here. So go ahead and find 3 objects that have different shapes. Look for sides, vertices, and angles. Just draw each shape and label it with its name shape. So you're going to draw it, and right under it, you're going to label it. Go ahead and pause this video and go ahead and right now, it's like a scavenger hunt. Go find 3 things that have different sides, shapes, and vertices. 3, 2, 1, ready, set, go. Don't forget to pause your video. All right, my friends. So when you are all done labeling yours, here is what we are going to use a strategy. Picture it. So looking around, just like we did in our home, but if you look around outside, you see shapes all around. So the first shape that we see, you can look for shapes. You can picture it. It's a pentagon. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, vertices, points. We have 5, and angles on the inside where they come together. It also has 5. We see this bus stop sign. It's a square, and they're all the same length. How many vertices? Good, 4. This is also a quadrilateral. Do you remember what quadrilateral is? It means it has four sides, 4 vertices, and 4 angles. Yeah, it's also a quadrilateral. And this shape is a rectangle, this window. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sides, 4 vertices, 4 angles. We call that a rectangle. Is it a quadrilateral? Yep, you're right. It's a quadrilateral. And this, oh boy, this yield means to go slow, to kind of stop slowly. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Tri means 3. This has 3 angles, 3 vertices, and 3 sides. We call that a triangle. So if you look around, there are shapes all around us. Next strategy is a draw it. You can draw it just like you did in the first one. We have a triangle, shape A, shape B, shape C is a pentagon, and shape D is a hexagon. What do you notice about the hexagon? I think that's the first time we've seen a hexagon. Well, let's count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. How many vertices do you think it has? If you said 6, you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're points. How about the angles? Let's see on the inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, hexagon. So we have a picture strategy and we have a draw it strategy. Connect it. So we're going to go back up to our draw it strategy with those shapes. And here's what we're going to do. It says, look at the draw it to complete the chart below. A. Let's look at shape A. I hear shape A. It's a triangle, right? So I wrote the name, triangle. How many sides? We counted those. So let's count them. 1, 2, 3 sides. So I wrote 3. Number of angles. Ooh, 1, 2, 3. 3 angles and 9 sides of vertices. Let's look at those points. 1, 2, 3. So you're going to fill that out for B, C, and D. Okay, go ahead and pause your video and go ahead and fill out this chart below, this data. And then when you are done, go to number 2. What do you notice about the number of sides, angles, and vertices in each shape? Well, I'm only looking at A, and I see that they have the same number of sides, angles, and vertices. They're all 3. So when you're done, I want you to continue to look at what do you notice about the number of sides, angles, and vertices of each shape. And you're going to just use your words to describe it down here. All right, the next problem is you're going to organize some information. So it says, look at the number of sides, angles, and vertices of each shape below. Sort the shapes and write each shape's letters in a correct column. So for example, sorry. So for triangle, here's my triangle. I wrote letter J. So J is a triangle. How about a quadrilateral has 4 sides and 4 angles and 4 vertices. So let's see. D has 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would put D here. What about a pentagon? Do you remember what a pentagon was? Well, let's go back up. A pentagon has 5 sides. So if you need to go back, there's 5 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how about a hexagon? Remember, hexagon has how many sides? 6. So here, if you forget, go back up 6 sides. So you would put it here. So you're going to find those shapes and vertices angled, and you're going to put them, organize them here. All right, go ahead and pause the video. And finally, oh, no, not finally. Number 5, which describes all quadrilaterals. Remember, quadrilaterals means 4 sides, 4 angles. So let's see. A, all sides are the same length. B, 5 sides, 5 vertices. C, 4 sides and 4 angles. Or D, 4 sides and 4 square corners. All right, go ahead and choose your answer. Remember what we talked about quadrilaterals. And number 6, here's your exit ticket. Explain 2 ways in which a triangle and a rectangle are different. So draw a triangle and a rectangle. I would draw them first using one of our strategies. And tell me what the difference are between triangle, rectangle, and rectangles. Please make sure you use words like vertices and angles and sides. All right, my friends, I hope this helps. Have a great, fantastic day.